We're speaking today with Russ Dively, an academic technology specialist for SunGard Higher Education. For more than 12 years, Russ has consulted with customer institutions on a variety of projects, including mobile technologies, which is our topic for today. Russ, it doesn't look like you're in your office. Where are you?
Well, Larry, I'm actually traveling, and I'm in a hotel lobby. I'm on my laptop with a wireless connection. But I thought since our topic was mobile technology, it would be nice to practice what I preach a little bit and take a risk and do an interview remotely with some of the technology. I could be doing the same interview using my tablet or even my smartphone, but I am on a laptop with a wireless connection today. And
that's great.
Help maybe emphasize that we can take the students outside the classroom for reality. And nice library, Larry.
Thank you. So you make the point that the classroom can be expanded to virtually any location where there is connectivity. What's the significance, Russ, of the expanded classroom? And what is the potential impact on teaching and learning?
Well, Larry, if you could imagine for a few minutes that instead of just doing an interview, that I'm actually, out in the field. Perhaps I'm an instructor and I teach political science. With today's mobile technology and video capability, I could actually be out in the city at a political rally and interviewing people live from my classroom, with students being able to interview my political people on the scene as well. Or perhaps I'm doing some field research, outside, and I want to bring my classroom to a place where it's just not feasible to take my students. I could go live with the technology and bring my students to where I am. And in fact, I recently did something like that with one of our environmental studies faculty. After a few minutes of learning how to use a cell phone or a smartphone, for live video, he was able to go out to a riverbed where he was doing some research and actually have his students interview him, and while he was on the scene at that riverbed. It's rather intriguing.
Those are great examples, Russ, but what about instances in which students may not all be in a classroom together? Can this type of mobile classroom experience be delivered to many separate locations at the same time, as might be the case, for example, in an online learning course?
Sure, Larry. As a matter of fact, right now we're using video conferencing software that's designed for two-way audio and video. Right? And even though this application could have up to 6 viewers, if I wanted to go live to, let's say, an online class where everybody's at home, I would use a different application. I would use something called webcasting, which is more attuned to television. It's one-way audio and video broadcast out to many locations on almost limitless number on the web, actually. But the participants, although they wouldn't have voice or video capability back during a webcast, they would be able to, with some applications, text questions that could be superimposed on my screen, so that even if I'm using a smartphone, I would be able to see the questions that people are giving me during the live webcast.
Very interesting. You provide some good examples of how mobile live video can expand the traditional classroom. But in what other ways, Russ, are advances in mobile technology impacting higher education? For example, can you give us some other examples other than the use of video?
Sure, Larry. It's pretty well clear that today's students are showing up on campus with a lot of technology in their pocket. Typically a smartphone with data and live internet connection. And these students, they know how to use that technology, and they even use it in the classrooms. A recent survey by eCar, just released this month, shows that actually 40% of the students with smartphones have used their internet connection for research or fact-checking their faculty while they were in class. Now, that's an example of an unplanned activity, but the students do use the technology. Right? Now, some examples of perhaps planned learning activities from within the classroom. It could vary from having students do research with group activities using the mobile technology while they're in the groups in the classroom, or social networking or sharing notes with each other digitally during the group projects. And more faculty are using their tablets and the special apps and project it onto a monitor so that they can bring special purpose apps, discipline-specific applications that are so well done for the tablets today, and using those in the classroom. A good example of a special app might be I recently saw a 3D astronomy application on a tablet projected on a monitor. It was really incredible, very powerful.
What about digital textbooks? Have they've been around for a long time, as we know, but have they become available for mobile devices?
Yeah, Larry, they have been around for a while, but with the new form of the tablet, their increasing sales are becoming more popular. In that same survey I mentioned a few moments ago, 30% of the students are now using e-text, and another 20% wish the faculty would start adopting them more than what they have been. So the students, able to read a textbook on a desktop with one purchase, be able to read it from a desktop, a tablet, and yes, even their smartphone now. Right? They can carry their entire library with them with the mobile technology. And what's important for faculty to understand with the use of e-textbooks is the publishers have really become creative and are including audio and video and interactive social networking things into the e-textbooks. So a textbook today, an e-text, is not necessarily a digital version of the same book. It has lots of media and tests embedded right in them. Faculty need to be aware of what's changing with the e-textbooks.
Very interesting, interactive, wave of the future. With all these advances in mobile technology, how are the faculty keeping up with what's available, and how do they learn to use this technology in their teaching?
Good question, Larry. There's a lot of associated things with faculty learning and trying to keep up with the technology. One, faculty, of course, have to have access to the technology. They have to have access to tablets and be familiar with how a smartphone works and their capabilities. But they also need faculty development, opportunities to learn new things. And it's not just with the technology itself, but they need faculty development opportunities for what are the best practices with this mobile technology, when and where to use what technology and what works best in certain situations, especially with social networking on mobile devices. The faculty need to play with the technology. They need to be familiar with it and be willing to try new things, and perhaps to be a risk taker, to try things that their students can feel as more engaging. Right? But definitely faculty development opportunities, but also faculty need to be in tune with like-manner faculty in their discipline, so they can share things they have learned or tried with the technology, so they can begin to learn with each other. So professional networking is also very important.
Russ, I know you spend a lot of time working with faculty and trying to educate them. Are you seeing increasingly are faculty receptive to using some of these technologies in the classroom?
Well, that's a great question, Larry. That in many cases, the faculty are beginning to use tablets. I'm not seeing a lot of video use, which I think could be more useful. But again, to cite that latest ECAR report, 40% of the students are saying that their faculty are not using the technologies that inspire, creative, or take the learning outside the classroom. So the students crave more. Faculty have come a long way, but there is definitely room for improvement.
This has all been very informative. Any other thoughts, Russ, you'd like to share with us regarding the use of mobile technology?
Parting thoughts? Well, as I mentioned, I really think the faculty need to become aware that this is the lifestyle of the students. The students carry this technology with them. more and more every day. The mobile technology is changing our lifestyles, and we need to be perceptive to how the students may view our use of technology. We, as educators, need to keep in touch with it, and again, try new things, and we need to inquire with our students. Students have ideas, and they, in many cases, know the technology and have some creative ideas on how best to bring outside activities into the classroom and social network. So it's not a faculty alone decision. We need to have discussions with our students and find out what they recommend. What are they using? It is a partnership with our students as this technology evolves.
This has been very interesting, Russ. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. We'll let you go now because I know you've got to get to your meeting.
Okay, well, Larry, thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts, and we'll get together someday soon when I get traveling your way. And thanks again, Larry.
My pleasure. Thank you.